Hello, everybody. How's it going this evening? We are ever so delicately behind schedule today. We are joined by the illustrious, the fantastical, story-weaving Ygoen, also known as Jacob. We are sitting in with our favorite Valley girl, nails on fleek, Christina Flax, aka Brendan, my baby boy, right till the bitter end. And if I can get this to work, we have an empty chair. That empty chair is Brandon, aka our prettiest pixie. It is just going to be one more minute until Brandon returns to us. They are just using the poopatorium, and they will be right back. So before we get into it, I suppose. Also, hello, Bucket. It has been so very long. So very, very long. How's everybody doing tonight? Sylvie, amazing to see you. Miss Liz Lane, amazing to see you. Brewing Chaos, thank you for the dice luck. We usually need it. We appreciate you. We love you. Thanks for coming in.
Brewing, don't send it to Story Dad. You got to send it right here for Christina. Okay.
Honestly, whomever. I think the only people that have are the only person that's really got the good luck lately has been Ygoen. Ygoen has rolled straight gas. Brandon
had some good luck.
Brandon has returned. So from there, I think we're going to just get right there into it. We're going to hit y'all with a little bit of a recap. When last we left off within the City of Splendors, the City of Waterdeep, we were sitting within Argentum Manor. Everyone except Story. Thanks. We were sitting in the City of Waterdeep, and our illustrious party of adventurers and nobles and ne'er-do-wells had a bit of a schism amongst themselves. Toric the Tempered, the knight attendant to Relica, the leader of the guards people that protected the House Argentum, he has left for an indeterminate amount of time. He's searching inward and outward for answers as to who he is and how he can come to terms with the things that he's done and where he needs to go and who he needs to be. Our swashbuckler, the automata pirate Briggs, he has mysteriously vanished, disappearing into the dock ward of Waterdeep to attend to matters that he deemed unnecessary to share with the rest of the Argentums.
Oh, them's fighting words, Sylvie.
Uno momento. Shit, gotcha. So, but right here and right now, we attend to another matter altogether. Our cousin from the north, Ygoen, they have received a letter from their mother, and it has strange, sinister undertones. Reading between the lines, it seems that something is amiss back where Ygoen used to live, the town of Thornhold. And thusly, Christina, Pixie, Ygoen, Gavin have taken it upon themselves to rush as swiftly as possible back to the town of Thornhold to see what is amiss, to try to find out what has happened to Egan's mother, to Egan's father, to the village of Thornhold itself. And it is there that we sit with our adventurers. They are ready. The horses have been tacked, they have been bridled, and they are ready to move at a moment's notice. A wagon has been acquired, and they sit now at the gates of the Argentum Manor, ready to, for the first time since the campaign began, leave the city walls of Waterdeep.
Before dropping off.
Bridget.
Yeah.
Um,
What? Did you say Bridget?
Yeah, the girl we rescued, or Gabrielle. Sorry.
Gabrielle.
I think I got that name wrong.
That's all good. So
Brendan, you're very quiet for me.
Oh, I can turn Brendan back up. Brendan was loud as all heck. We're gonna bump up, hit him right there, and it is there. Oh, thank you. It is there that we pick up, heading to Silver Street to go and drop off Gabrielle, the woman that was rescued from the sort of thieves guild oubliette that the young lady that they rescued was being held within.
The fuck is the place we're going called again?
You're going to Silver Street, but the town that you're leaving to is going to be the town of Thornhold. Just a few days, just a day and a half ish travel north of Waterdeep, weather and hazards permitting, of course. Nestled just west of the Sword Mountains and between the Great Highway and the Sea of Swords to the west. Nerds doing nerd things is one of my favorite things as well. And so, what is it that you folks would wish to do? I believe we can join you as you maneuver and take the wagon with Gabrielle in it to Silver Street. You trundle along the road. The typical sights and sounds and smells of Waterdeep accosting you at all sides. The sound of hawkers plying their wares, street meat vendors, jolly, raucous laughter and shouting coming from the fest halls of the trades ward, and eventually leading you, your wagon, and your entourage onto Silver Street, which is nested within the eastern quarter of the trade ward. As you approach Silver Street, Gabrielle starts poking her head out of the wagon and
Wasn't
sort
she on
of...
my horse?
Sure, yeah, she can be on your horse. Now that you have a wagon, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, she sits atop your horse, and she's looking over your shoulder, and it becomes obvious that she's getting a little bit excited to be home. And she says, "I know that I've already said it, but I can't thank you enough, Pixie. I really do appreciate this with all my heart. I had reserved myself to death. I had resigned to dying within that pit. I didn't. There had already been. I was the last one. I was the last person being held there. The rest had disappeared. If there's anything that I can do to repay you and your family, just ask."
Well, for now, just keep yourself safe. That's all I want from you.
I think I'm going to sit at home and sleep in my bed and eat good food and maybe read a book and try to take all this in, but I don't think I'll be putting myself in harm's way anytime soon.
Well, if you ever feel unsafe, we'll always have a room for you back at the manor.
Well, I might come to visit and take you up on that, but
Absolutely.
for now I think it's important that I see my mother and my father. And she points just briefly to the jeweler that you see. The Loop of Wonder is the jeweler's that sits right at the very, very end of Silver Street. A gigantic sign sits outside that seems to be covered in gold leaf. The detailed portrait of a jeweler's loop with a embossed, probably glass gem for the eyepiece sitting on the sign. And she waits for the horses to come to a stop, the wagon to stop rolling, and then she kind of like gives your arm a squeeze and then jumps down off of the horse and rushes to the door. She bursts inside, and then you hear coming from the interior, you just hear, "Gabrielle? Oh my god! It's her! She's alive!" And then you hear the sounds of a family coming back together, of a youngish adult woman crying. You hear several people worrying and fretting over Gabrielle as she is brought back to her family. You hear sort of sounds of celebration, of wonder, of relief as it sounds like about 5 people are within the walls of the store, the jeweler's shop, and they all are coming together. And do you do anything in the meantime?
I'm gonna go peek my head in and just kind of, I guess, like say to the entire family, I don't want to ruin the moment. On behalf of Park Argentum, if you guys need anything ever, please let me know.
So you see gathered around 3 small boys and an older man, perhaps aged, all human, perhaps aged 30, 40 years old at the most, and a woman that seems similarly aged, graying around the temples. And you see the father turn to you, and he just says, You're the one that saved my girl? You saved my daughter?"
Not me specifically, but members of my household.
I can't. She's been gone so long. We thought the worst. What? Thank you.
Of course. We have to take care of our own in this city.
No, you. Not everyone's like you. Thank you. It's. I don't know what to say. It's. How do we thank you? What are you? Who you said House Argentum?
Correct.
You folks are the silver miners, correct?
Yes.
We can bring your, and he stamps into his own thigh. He's like, "Bring your silver here. We will turn it into fine goods. We'll do it for free. We can help you. We'll do what we can. Whatever it is we need to repay you. We owe you the world."
Well, that's not necessary. Your thank you is enough.
That's not enough. I'll do it. I have the time. I have the means. We can do this. I'll do this for you.
Well, I'm headed out of town right now. Maybe when I get back, I'll get you to make a couple rings for me.
I'll bring you my best works, and we can talk. I'll whatever we can do to help.
Well, thank you. And for now, enjoy some time with your daughter. I have to go.
Tell your people, your family, thank you.
I shall.
And then he just kind of like takes his daughter into a hug, and yeah, they just seem to be having this very intimate moment of bonding and reconnection as you step back out of the door.
Yeah.
So
Get out of my head, Liz.
you get back, and you hop up on your horse, and you're all sitting there. And what do you do next? Is it time to head out of town?
Christina, Ygoen, do you guys need anything before we go?
No, I packed before we left the compound.
You guys feel prepared enough?
I think I'll be okay.
Gavin,
Why?
need anything before we leave the city?
Nay. I think I got to everything. It's been some time since I've been out to the city. But well,
Yeah, me too.
I'm not. I'm near some wildermen. I got to admit. I hope you all know how to like start the fire and stuff. Like I've got, I've got the means, but it's.
We have everything we need. I got in my pack. I have
All right.
I have sleeping bags. I got rope. I got tinder starters. I got everything. Don't worry about that.
All right.
You'll be all right.
No, I get it. I understand. We can make trail. I got nothing to hold me here. I sent out me missives to the lads that are sitting in the castle ward. Then I've got me supplies. I've got some alchemy shite, and I'm ready to go.
You know what we do have, Pixie? We have these daggers and chain shirts and all this kind of stuff that we still haven't taken care of yet. Why don't we just trade that in for supplies for the trip?
I mean, sure.
Did you
That's fine.
bring it with us, or do we have to go back home?
Aren't we kind of on a timetable here? Like Ygoen, your mother's waiting for us, isn't she?
Yeah, presumably.
All right. Well,
I can run home quick, throw it in a saddlebag, and then catch up with you guys.
Okay, we'll meet you at the edge of town to the west.
Christina, I've got coin. Like we can just head to a shop, and then you can sell your shite, and then pay me the difference at a later date. I mean, like I don't really want to get caught up with all that shit. Like if Egan's mom's in danger, like are we really gonna go for a shop?
Let's go.
And he just so Gavin sidles up. He takes his horse and he comes up to Christina and he just drops you a bag of gold that's got 100 pieces in it.
Oh God. Okay.
It's like it's what they've got on me. It's not it's not the most terrible amount, but it'll do.
That'll do plenty, Gavin. Thank you.
Yeah.
On the way out of town, we'll just stop at any kind of general goods place, get like a cask of water and some food and all that kind of stuff. Or is that all?
We already have a cask of water in the.
Egan loaded up.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
okay.
Yeah, all the travel stuff. Like if you wanted to get like some extraneous shit, like
I thought we hadn't taken care of that yet. That's why I was saying.
no, all that stuff's taken care of, like the basics.
Perfect.
But if you wanted to get some extraneous, like if you wanted like climbing kits, or you wanted extra rope, or you wanted to get like a ladder, or like anything like that.
10 days rations with me. Like I mean,
perfect. Yeah, okay.
Just
I'm
in my
fully not
backpack.
worried about it then. And if Christina will just be like, "Oh, Egan's got it covered. Okay, here's your money back, Gavin." That's all I was worried about.
It's like, oh, you're just.
You guys have a tent?
Oh,
Sleep in the wagon.
no, I don't have a tent, but I've got the sleeping bag. Like I've got the bedroll.
My tent could fit 2 people, so I can sleep anywhere.
we're traveling less than 2 days.
It's
on a
like we got
road.
to spend like one night out on the wilderness. I said I'm not really a wilderman, but like to be completely honest, I'm not super worried. It's just that I don't really know how to make a fucking fire. I've never rubbed sticks.
We're not hiking through the Underdark or anything. Like, I mean, we're going to be relatively safe on the trip.
Mhm.
Ah, you never know. All right. Well, let's get the hell out of here.
Well, I mean, Egan, to be completely fucking honest, I can understand where she's coming from. I'm not really, I'm kind of a city bloke, to be completely,
Gavin.
honest with you. Oh, sorry. Wait, no, I'm not.
Oh,
What did
you're
I say?
talking about Egan, weren't
Yeah,
you?
no, I'm talking about me. I'm not
Oh.
I am not the Wilderman.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
no, I'm not the Wilderman. So what I'm saying is that I haven't really been out to the city either, and I'm a little bit worried, even if it's a day. Like, the Sword Mountains are just a day away, and that's fucking scary shite. There's all sorts of spooky shite. There's the Sword Coast, there's the Sea of Swords to the west, and that's full of gribblies and monsters and privateers and et cetera, et cetera. And I'm just saying, I understand their worry.
Well, I have a tent. I'm gonna sleep in my tent.
Yeah, all right.
Whoever wants to join can.
Dibs.
So you guys hit along the high road and start making your way. You see, so traveling along the high road within Waterdeep and heading out of town to the north, you sort of see what Waterdeep is crystallized into its most distilled form. You see all walks of life traveling on wagons, traveling on axe beaks. You see people floating along upon magic carpets. You're witnessing floating skiffs going across the sky, heading to the airship dock, and you see the famous North Gate Weymouth, the gigantic circular pillared teleportation platform, the place which is regularly maintained by the ruling sort of magocratic guilds within Waterdeep in order to make sure that those teleporting into Waterdeep and out of Waterdeep that don't have permanent abodes can do so incredibly safely. You see the patterns, et cetera, and it's those hallmarks of Waterdeep that sort of bring into perspective like how special that this place really is. Because you hit the gate, the north gate that leads out of the city wide open, and outside is just like any other pastoral West Faerunian landscape. It's springtime along the Sword Coast. Flowers are blooming, hills rolling, grass, and the grains that have been ever so recently planted by the farmers that feed the City of Splendors. All of that blooming sort of like hits your nose for the first time, and it's really a stark contrast from the smells of Waterdeep, the sort of pungent aromas, the detritus in the streets, the press of humanity, and it's a little bit jarring to just see rolling hills of wildflowers, grasses, and the foothills that lead up to the Sword Mountains sort of bare before you. And then you're away. Your wagon starts rolling along the high road. The Sea of Swords to your west, and the great open plains to your east.
You've seriously never left the city? This is your first time seeing grass?
No, it's just been a while. It's pretty out here.
Egan, I'll be honest, it's the first time that I've been out of Waterdeep since, I took a boat trip down to Calimport. I haven't been out of the city in about 5 years. Have no reason to. It's got everything I need.
Well,
Except
Even though
scenery.
we're headed on a trip that likely has a somewhat sinister end, I don't think it's bad for us to enjoy the views a little bit.
That's all right. Midday turns into mid-afternoon. Mid-afternoon turns into dusk. And along the horizon, you see a set of storm clouds rolling in. Nothing dark, sinister, or sudden, but just clouds coming down from the Sword Mountains and the Sea of Swords that brings with it the rains that make spring spring. And you reach a fork in the road, one way heading east, the other continuing north. And it is about this time that it's become dark. And perhaps it's time to make camp.
It's getting a little dark for travel, guys. I think we should set up camp. And Pixie's just gonna like pull her horse a little off the side of the path.
This is your wheelhouse. What am I doing?
And she's gonna pull out a tinderbox, and she's gonna pull out a tent, and she's gonna toss the tent at Gavin. And Gavin, can you set up the tent, please?
I mean, well, maybe. And he like starts trying to do it. 1 sec. we're gonna roll for it.
Survival chat.
God, I have every fucking dice rolled in the There we go. Gavin's fumbling around. He doesn't really understand how to assemble a tent. He's like screwing around with like the tent posts and the pegs that go into the ground, and the flaps are getting all twisted, and the twine that he's got the strings and stuff like that all twisted up, like on the doorway for the tent. And Pixie, I'm fucked. I don't know how to fucking do a tent. I don't get that. I've always slept in an inn or in my own home. I've got, I don't know how to fucking do this.
Can you go collect wood then?
Well, fuck yeah. All right, I'll try.
Thank you. And then I'll set up the tent very easily, unless
Right.
you want me to roll for it.
No. If you feel that Pixie would be competent enough to fucking assemble a tent, I'm not gonna force it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Christina just bends down at one point and just flicks her thumb like a lighter, and then lights what little wood we have already to get a fire going.
Yeah, you guys.
You have to be so dramatic about everything. I had a tinderbox.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
still do.
Yep.
Two of us can just light fires. I don't need to waste what you would need if you were ever alone, separated from us.
Mm-hmm.
Gavin comes
As
back.
if you'd ever let that happen, Ygoen.
Gavin comes back and he has a kit behind him. He's dragging a decent amount of junk in behind him, wood and bark and smaller bits of timber. And he says, "Oh, did you guys mean to stop here? Was that the plan? We've got something pretty fucking cool just beside us."
What?
Yeah, I'd always heard about it, but I've never actually been this far north of the city before. I always travel south, so I got to tell you, there's hot springs just a little bit away. If we want to take a dip or something like that, it's just a little bit.
Do we want to leave all our shit on the road though?
Well, I guess yeah. Maybe hit it in the morning. have a bath, and then fuck off.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you all sit around the fire. Gavin's collected enough wood for the evening. Start cooking your meager meals. And
MREs.
yeah, basically your MREs. You start boiling a little bit of water. You throw like the bits of dried veggies and stuff in those. Make some thin soup and eat the hardtack and the meat that goes with it and such. All right, so who's gonna start first?
What?
Start what?
Well, it's fucking story time. Like that's what people do around campfires. Are you like I'm not the adventuring type. I don't really sit around campfires with all my peers and smell like smoke and eat shite food and fuck around like that. But you know, isn't that sort of tradition? Like you tell stories around the fire.
I thought you meant who was going to sleep first.
What? Well, I was thinking that we'd all go to fucking sleep.
Well, I assumed we were sleeping in cycles.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, so somebody's awake in case we get ambushed in the middle of the night?
Oh, fuck.
Mountain lion or robbers, bandits?
Oh, shit. All right. Well, I'll take last.
Last sleep?
What's that? No, what the fuck? No. I'll stay awake last. Wake me up in fucking 6 hours or whatever.
I'll go first.
All right. Tell me something juicy.
Christina?
Well, I'm not really much of a storyteller so much as I am a gossip collector. You know? Let's theorize. Let's all take guesses. Why was that girl making signet rings for, where was it? House Amcathra. Why do they need new signet rings? Let's play a game. Everyone take a guess. Why do they need new signet rings?
Didn't they not say it? Like they said something about they needed them for like a new trade venture, something like that.
Oh, that's boring. Come on, Gavin. What's the
They got
juiciest
married?
possible reason? Okay, Ygoen, I like this. Who in House Amcathra is getting married?
Oh shit! Wait, I heard something about this.
Spill, bitch.
The youngest lass was supposed to be having some sort of betrothal to some other high muckety muck. I do not remember exactly which one, but somebody else that's something supposed to be like not the nobleman. I know that, like not one of the noble people, but like somebody that's sitting high up in the government.
Ah, another arranged marriage.
I do not know if it was arranged. I think I heard that it was a little bit scandalous. But I do not know. This was from like months ago, before I met y'all.
Well, I mean, maybe they need new rings because the doppelgangers forgot to take them off of their victims.
She was being held by the Xanathars, who we now know are working with doppelgangers. Maybe the doppelgangers have been using that family to get signet rings that they're not supposed to have.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, could be.
I guess I could talk to them when we get back.
True.
They might know something, I'm not sure, but it might also just be a messenger came from House Amcathra and said, "Hey, make these."
Could be
I know
that.
nothing.
Well, it could be that they're switching up their signet rings, and then because they've replaced them all, they've replaced all the Amcathras, and then if some other schmuck from the Amcathras shows up with an old ring, then, well, you know, they start signing documents and shite, and then suddenly, well, fuck, he's the one, and they pinch him.
Ygoen, any ideas?
This sounds like more work than the fun thing that I think Gavin was. I thought we were making up stories.
I
and
have written
conclusions.
down in my. I have written down.
I
in
realized
my
we
notes
were
that-
actually like trying to detective suss out something.
Yeah, I was waiting for like
My
a
head
good
was
story.
on a totally different direction than you guys. I thought we were going to hear some juicy story of infidelity that Christina knew about or something, and instead we're talking about
juicy
Xanthars and
infidelity.
doppelgangers.
Well, I was I was kind of helping that, like, I'd heard about Christina, like, you know, like fucking a centaur or something like that. But you know,
There's a gentleman in the nobility that's been making a pass at me for a while named Arthur Moreland.
Arthur Moreland.
Mm-hmm.
Who in the fuck is that?
I don't know him from a hole in the wall, but he seems to be quite enamored with me.
Oh yeah, because you're fucking hot.
Well, thank you, Gavin.
Yeah, like
Don't make it weird, Gavin.
No.
What do you mean?
No. I'd rather he not lie to me, Pixie. But yeah, no, that's been something that's been going on for a while. He seems enamored. I don't know which noble house he's from, but before I got in with this apprenticeship with Balthor, I was still living with my mom over at the Blushing Mermaid.
Oh fuck, that's weird. All right.
Why,
See,
Gavin?
What's that? Because I know your mother.
You know Bensel?
Like
Bensel
like a-
Riven.
yeah, like I know your mother.
Oh
Yeah,
no!
There's some juicy gossip.
Mm-hmm.
Are you
Like a-
saying what I think you're saying?
He's done business there.
Oh, it was no business.
Oh,
I didn't pay shite. Like I've hung out with your mother.
why?
How well do you know your mother?
Fairly well.
All right, then you should know why.
Who did you work for before the Xanathars?
Like how far back? Because I was an independent agent for a little while there, just doing some second story and this, that, and the other thing. But no, I be
Tina's
doing.
just fiddling with something in her hands real quick. Does Gavin recognize it? It's the Harper symbol.
If Gavin recognizes it, he's making a very good
Okay.
poker face that he doesn't notice whatsoever. But
Mm-hmm.
I worked for I've done a little bit of the. I'm not so proud of it, but I have earned a little bit of coin on behalf of the Zents. I did a bit of work before that for the Shadow Thieves before they got ousted back to Om.
Okay.
And I mean, I've had some independent contacts from time to time. Your mother hired me for some shite, and well, we've had a good time together. Your mom's good people.
Mm-hmm. That she
Mhm.
is. What did she hire you for?
Oh, what do you not listen? And then he shoots an eye to Ygoen, and he shoots an eye to Pixie.
Gavin feels a little knock in the back of his head as I use my sorcerer telepathic speech feature.
He's like, listen, just stay out of me fucking head. And he says it out loud. He's like, these are your best friends. Like, do you want them to know the secrets about your fucking mother or not? How many secrets are you gonna have? I can just shut me mouth right now.
No, I want to know.
Yeah,
Let's get it
okay.
out there.
Yeah, all right. So your mother's a fucking harper. and she's been fucking doing business with me for a little while now. I'm not the fucking Harper or anything like that, but she's she's pinched me once or twice doing some shady shite, and then she's leveraged that and given she's gotten some information out to me, and we've partied together, and yeah, maybe I fucked your mother.
Thanks, Gavin.
I don't mean to just no dishonor to her whatsoever, but I mean she's a fun lady.
She is a whore.
She is wonderful one. Good at it. Fantastic.
Yeah, I don't need to know that.
smells great. Elderberries, lavender, just a wonderful woman.
Gavin, now you are making
honest
it
work.
weird.
Oh my!
It's
But-
the world's oldest profession.
It's like you grew up around it. I didn't think you'd be I didn't think you were gun shy about it or anything like that. Anyway, listen, I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty details of what I did with your mother, but I'm saying that I did do a little bit of work for her.
Okay. What did you tell her?
What did I tell her?
information did she want out of you? Stuff about the Xanathars?
Oh, no, nothing like that. I was doing a little bit of burglary within the castle ward for some time there. There was, because the way it turned out, there was a little bit of a leeway, or a little bit of a subsection of the castle ward where, basically, after one of the standing statues came down, I don't remember exactly how many years ago at this point, but a lot of the arcane protections within the castle ward just fell down. So all you had to do, before they found out, all you had to do was pick a lock. So there were a few people that were working for Ygoen's tower, a couple of licensed mages, and so I went in and I pilfered some of their shite, and she was asking me, hey, Gav, I'm going to need you to go and do it again, but she had a couple of names in mind. So I took my piece of what exactly I needed, and then she asked for, diaries, and she was asking for pieces of art, and something about... I don't remember now. She was asking for weird relics from the Dead Three, from Miracle and from Bane and from what's his name, from Ball, the god of murder. So I didn't get too heavy into it, but yeah, she was asking for some weird shite, and I got it for her, but I never asked. I wasn't asked. I wasn't in the market of asking questions about the work that I was doing. So,
While he's talking, Pixie's just gonna get up and go to the wagon and pull out a bottle of whiskey she brought,
okay.
and then sit back down beside him and take a swig.
Somebody in the castle ward had relics of the Dead Three?
Yeah, they were wizards. No offense to ye and yours, but
I'm no wizard.
well, to be frank, I don't really know the difference. I know what I got my own tricks, but it's definitely no fucking wizardry. But
Well, she's a sorcerer.
It's a wizard without a hat.
It's a wizard who doesn't learn from books. It's
Oh.
natural.
Yeah, that's the big one.
An
All right.
illiterate wizard.
an illiterate.
No,
Wizard.
I can read.
Oh, all right. Well, listen. What I'm saying is they're into all sorts of shit. They had big libraries, and she was looking for certain books, and now, and she paid me a decent amount of coin for it, so it is what it is. Yeah.
All right.
Pixie's
Yeah.
gonna offer the bottle to Gavin.
He's like, no thanks. I'm good. I want to stay kind of. And he points his eyes out into the dark, the inky blackness beyond your firelight.
Egan? Christina, you want some?
I'll have a sip, thank you.
Yeah, I'll have a swig.
What other juicy gossip do I know?
I don't know anything. People don't really hang out with me outside of the house.
While you were in there, did you ever meet Alethine Moonstar, Gavin?
No, doesn't ring a bell. No.
The matriarch of House Moonstar. Did you
Nay.
not know that she lives in the Blushing Mermaid?
Well, I mean, I don't. No, I didn't. I didn't really frequent the place too terribly much. I wasn't that wasn't. I was just hanging with your mom. Hey, I was not. Listen, not that there's anything wrong with it, but I'm not like a whore. I do not sleep around or anything like that. It's just I was having some fun with your mom, and we were doing some work together, and then that was pretty much it. I hung out in the common room a couple of times. Maybe if I saw a picture of her, I'd be able to recognize it. But I'm not. Yeah, couldn't be me. I wasn't a frequent patron. It wasn't me.
Interesting. Yeah. Growing up there, it really gives you a different perspective on a lot of things. But
Well, yeah, it learns you how to treat people. Like you fucking, and when you look at the lowest common denominator of the respect of an entire society, and then you see how much hard work they put in, and the fact that suddenly what so the business that you do when you're grifting people and clipping coins and being a real fucking cocksucker, sitting at the very loftiest high tower, yeah, okay, so you're fucking over tens of thousands of people with your greedy ways, but like a sex worker can't just be an honest individual that actually, like, fuck you, frankly. Like, I got nothing but respect for your mom and everybody that she works with. Like, fucking a hell of a lot more honest than fucking what they're like just trading silks for 3 times what it's actually fucking worth. Like, fuck off.
yeah, we're on the same page, Gavin.
Yeah, like,
A bit heated about the topic, hey?
well, I got the soft spots for the lowest dregs of the dock ward, if I'm being completely fucking honest. It's
Gavin had to watch Agnes be a fucking real bitch about that kind of shit and take advantage of those people. So,
well, yeah, not just Agnes. Like, I did work for fucking terrible people in order to fill me belly. Like, it's Anyway, let's get back onto a fucking lighter note here. Jesus Christ! All right, Ygoen, tell me a fucking juicy story.
Juicy story.
Well, yeah, something from. Well, we're going back up to your hometown. Like, tell me something fucking crazy that went on when you were young.
Well, miners get really rowdy. I mean, lots of drinking. So, I mean, there's always stuff going on. The community is kind of like a informal polycule, depending on how much everybody's had to drink. Like, it's just, So I'm not really sure what qualifies as juicy and open secrets, and it's just that's just the way things are. So yeah, once we deal with whatever the problem is, I'm sure we would have a good time celebrating at the tavern. But I don't know what to say. I know some campfire lullabies my nan used to sing, but I'm not really as good of a singer as she was, so I don't know. I'm not like Christina. I don't really keep track of other people's business like that. I just
Well, all right. All right. Well, I'm going to tell one.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Bard.
All right. So, there I was sitting in a bar in Luskin. All right. You guys are familiar with Luskin, City of Sales?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? All right. So, I'm sitting in a bar in Luskin. It's called the Cutlass. It's quite the establishment. Very famous. It's Lord Neverember. Reportedly, that's where he impregnated the firstborn heir that was supposed to be going down to Netherwinter. There's a whole bunch of shite that's connected to this bar. So, I'm sitting in this bar one night, and I see out the corner of my eye a figure sitting right in the corner. He's got a green cloak, brought right above his ears. And I thought that I caught a glimpse of ebon skin. Now, drow aren't the most uncommon thing to see within Luskan. You know, Jarlaxle being quite famous for running the high ships.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This isn't so crazy, but this one seemed to have something about him. I don't really know. And then I catch a glimpse of a fucking blade right on his hilt, right on his belt. And it's got to be the most fine blade I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. All silver. Seems like the metal's almost shifted with the candlelight within the tavern. And me, being the enterprising sort, wanting to make friends, I buy the fella a drink. And then I walk over there. I say, "Hello, my name's Gavin O'Toole. Would you like a drink? Can I come?" And I sit. I've got a couple of questions to ask you. How about you have a drinking buddy for the evening? And he says to me, "I don't drink, but thank you for the offer. I could use the company." And so we start talking back and forth. I ask him about his past, and he's pretty open. And he says, "Hey, I've I used to live within the Underdark." Pause for effect. The Underdark. That's right. The rumors are true. So he tells me about his past, and I say, "Oh, I've heard of the Underdark. Menzo Baranzin. Are you?" And I, because I don't know one from another. He's the first drow that I've ever met. I said, "Hey, are you fucking Drist Dorn?" And he says, "No." And at first, I'm a little bit disappointed. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, well then who the fuck have I found myself here? Am I about to get fucking stabbed? Like, is this the fucking end of Gavin O'Toole? Like, so anyway, turns out this fella, his name's Tathlin. His last name's Despana. He's from the City of Portals, someplace that I've never fucking heard of. And he told me a really sad story. He told me that a lot of his friends had passed away. A lot of the people that he would really consider some of the best. There's a fella, his name was Alistair. There's a little boy that they had protected. And he told me how I don't know how to do it was or anything like that, but he told me a story about how they saved the world. That there was some sort of prophecy and they were chosen. And anyway, it went on for some time. And then, they were talking about he had a little halfling friend, and they had an honest to God's polar bear. They rode around on an airship, and there was this fantastic captain that he knew, a guy named Leon. And anyway, we were telling stories to one another all night. And this fella Tathlin, he sits up with me, probably just till right before the sun goes up, and all hell broke loose. He started shouting at me. He said, "You got to get down, Gavin, get down." He threw me under the table, and a bunch of fellas busted into the bar, all decked out and this, that, and the other thing, and magic was flying. And I've never seen somebody so fucking fast in my entire life. He cut them down, and he pulled out his sword, and I don't know if you're going to believe me, and I don't care if you do, but the reality is that was a moonblade. I've heard the legends. It's a famous fucking elven sword, passed down from user to user, wielder to wielder, the greatest swordsman in all of the Forgotten Realms, in the entirety of Abir Thorl, from Karatur all the way to Evermeet. That is the sword, covered in runes, all from past users, and this one was chock full from fucking tip to hilt. And he cut these men down. Couldn't have been more than a minute. 15 men lie dead within the cutlass. Mages, Ashmedai, warriors, Zents, sent from God knows where. And anyway, just as quick as I met him, he was gone. He left me. I understand. I'm no friend to him. Nothing like that. And to be honest, if I'm getting accosted at the bar, people coming in and slinging spells, I would have fucked off too. So, anyway.
They had a polar bear?
I know. A polar bear. That's what he said. Who knows? I mean, like, I tell tall tales from time to time too, but I'm a little bit inclined to believe him. I got to be honest with you.
Was the polar bear a druid?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. We didn't get into the nitty-gritty. He was telling me that they had traveled to the Nine Hells and that they had battled against the foul spawn of Asmodeus himself. And that, in the end, when everything seemed lost, that it was actually a Cambion that saved him, a half-devil. That it was one of his friends.
See, now that was a good story.
Well,
And this guy just wandered into a tavern and then got attacked by 36 different organizations.
well, two does. Well, it was just two organizations. There was the Ashmedai, the mages of the Ashmedai, and Zentish forces. So, but I mean, the way that this Tathlin put them down, it was no surprise to me that that's the kind of men that were after him. So I wouldn't have even known if that they were Zents. They were all cloaked up and enshrouded in magic. But then when all the dust settled, well, yeah. So,
And I was just going to talk about running up buildings.
oh, well, I guess that's why I'm the bard and you're the fucking rogue.
I think sometimes I forget that the realms are filled with fantastical people. Some we never even learn their names.
Well, there's always bigger fish, Christina. There always is. Simple as that. Whenever you think you're at the tippy top, fuck, there's always somebody to smack you down and remind you where you really stand. But that Tathlin, he seemed like the one, the real deal. You know, like when you hear stories, like Gareth Dragonsbane or Bruno Battlehammer or Elminster, like these are the names that you think about.
I've heard of that name.
You've heard of Elminster, yeah, the Sage of Shadowdale, the chosen of Mista, consort to the gods, most mighty mage that's ever lived. Well, at least the legend goes. Frankly, I think it's probably Alistair, but I've lived in Waterdeep for a couple of years now. So, but, he just seemed like the real deal. Like he was really the guy. Like he was one of them. One of those legends. Yeah.
I wonder how many legends we've run into and not even realized it.
Well, I mean,
Well, you guys know me.
I think your legend's still in the first couple chapters. That train of thought is still at the boarding station.
Yeah.
Pixie just sticks her tongue out at Christina.
Anyway, that's enough gabbing from Gavin. What do you got going, Pixie? Tell me a story.
tell you a story.
Well,
You're a legend. Tell us about one of your legendary trials and tribulations.
We all know I'm quite nimble. I used to compete in the athletic events at the Fields of Glory, and I almost never lost. It's amazing how climbing a manor every day can give you quite an advantage in any sort of athletic situation. Scared the shit out of my dad and father, but hey, when you're kind of one of the only goblins in the city, it's hard to make friends. So, I guess I just found company in Lucius and my parents with Relica, and I liked climbing, and I was good at it. The Moanders, Gavin, or not the Moanders.
The fucking Moanders. Oh, shit. Maybe you are a legend. You were hanging out with Moander as a child.
Not the Moanders, sorry, the
gymnastics or
Margasters.
Oh,
They actually had a competitor that they were so confident would beat me in the athletic competition. They actually bet an entire education at a Gyron's Tower on against me, and I won. And apparently I could have been a mage and gone to a Gyron's Tower for my education. Apparently that was on my dad's to get me into. I guess they didn't really want me to be a mage. Maybe they thought I was better at other things. I don't know. But I confronted the fuck is his name?
Brunyandar.
Yeah, Brunyandar about it, and he said, "Well, you could have. Did you go get the education?" I was like, "Well, no, I didn't even know about it until like half an hour ago." And he's like, "Well, that's not my fault." And then we had to do the whole bet thing, and now we got to fight them in a pirate battle on boats. And well, I don't know, Gavin. Do you think I'd be a better mage?
He thinks for a second. See him, he stares at the ground and scratches himself a little bit. And No. Actually, no, that's not true. I think you'd make a fucking great mage, if I'm being honest. But I think that wizards are nothing but fucking trouble. And I think that it's a hell of a lot better that you're not. And I'm glad that you're the way that you are. Because to be completely fucking honest, I haven't met a fucking wizard alive that wasn't vying for power and something that they should not be grasping for. So, do I think you'd make a great wizard? Yes. Do I think that eventually you would have found your way to the end of a fucking blade? Well, honestly, if you were, kind of hope you would be.
Well, I feel like the path we're on right now, I'm going to end up there anyways.
Yeah, well, when you're all out of spells and you're a fucking wizard, you catch the blade.
That's true.
But when you get trained like you and like me and like fucking Ygoen, you don't run out of spells. And you sure as shite can't run out of axe and dagger and steel. If they take it away from you, you take it back. And you can still stab and poke and bite and punch, and you know how. And you learn to use this in ways that are not reliant on the weave. And I think it's a better place to be. No offense, Christina, I understand. But
None taken.
magic is just a little bit. I use it myself. Whether it comes from song, and it comes from word, and it comes from here. And he points to his heart.
I have some spells. I don't know why I have them, but they're almost like an innate ability.
Well, the way that we live, the place that we live, within Waterdeep and all the errant magics that have ravaged the place. It's not the most fantastical thing to have just a wee bit of magic within you.
Well,
Wow, dead people.
my
talk
magic
to me.
has to come from somewhere up the family tree, from everything I've read.
I don't know. I don't know where my magic comes from. I don't know any of my ancestors. All I know is that dead people talk to me,
Yeah, all right, all right.
Fascinating.
and that's where one of my spells came from, I guess. I don't really know how it works. It's very confusing.
Right, right. Understood. I'm not going to call it necromancy, but it kind of sounds a little bit like it.
Can I make an
I'm not-
Arcana check, Aaron, to try and figure out what Pixie's magic is?
Ooh, yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'm not resurrecting the dead or anything. It's just they kind of whispered to me.
Oh,
and they
okay. I'll get to that in a sec.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah. No, I understand. I understand that. But you have to understand that necromancy isn't just raising the dead. It's not just using your wibbly wiles to make skeletons dance and bring the rotten back to life. Necromancy is also the power over life and death.
The force
I'm
is
not I'm not exactly the most educated guy, but I have seen, I've seen and been subject to the whims and wiles of most schools of magic. And necromancy can be the most foul, but it can also be the most emboldening. It's not always just animating your friends and family after they've deceased and your enemies and this, that, and the other thing. It can also just be plucking ever so gently at the lines of life and death. And that means pretty much that, well, for better or worse, I think what you've got going on within you is a little bit of necromancy, if not from the school, then from the weave itself.
Pixie reaches into her pocket and she pulls out her, what you guys see is like a quite crude wooden carving of what looks to be like a pixie, like a fairy. And she says, whenever I focus really hard on this, I hear someone I don't know talk to me. But if I guess, I would assume it would be my birth parent. They speak in Goblin, and they're very soft when they speak to me. But I don't know their name, and I don't know where they came from, or what significance this has from them. But yeah, it's scary sometimes, cause like it's not just her that talks to me, it's people who die near me, passing a place where somebody has died. It's just a kind of a nagging voice in the back of my head out of nowhere sometimes, and it's very uncomfortable. I made this too serious. This was supposed to be a fun story.
No, no,
My
no, no,
bad.
no, 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 no,
That's
no.
fascinating.
Yeah, do
How
not
did we never
feel.
know this about
Yeah,
you?
that's quite the fucking story, Pixie. That's a hell of a lot better
Mhm.
than fucking talking about climbing buildings with some scrag off of the fucking fields of glory. You talked of the fucking dead? Like, not by casting a spell, like you're not.
Yeah,
not-
that normally takes some serious juju to pull.
Now that takes a
Well-
bit of fucking juice to do, usually.
I don't talk to them. I don't see them. I don't see any like corporeal form or anything. I just hear them in my head. It's
Is
like
it
they're
the
whispering
same
into my
them?
ear.
Is it the same them, or do you just they don't linger?
Uh,
'Cause I
well,
just had the
and
dreadful
she holds
thought.
up the carving again. This one is kind of always there.
I just had this dreadful thought of Briggs dying in battle and following you for the rest of your life.
Oh,
God, don't tell me that. No, generally it
oh, that's cursed.
fades pretty quick, or I can kind of like almost push them away. Like if I'm not interested in what they're trying to tell me, then I can kind of just, meh, and I guess they bugger off. But sometimes it's almost like it's like they're trying to whisper in my ear, but it's loud and almost unignorable.
Do you ever try to help them?
They've never really asked for help. It's like they're trying to give me information or teach me something from their lives, or a skill, or something new to help me almost.
You're getting like history lessons from the dead. Is that what you're saying? That's not.
Almost.
I'm not. I am the being facetious. Like I'm actually asking. Is that like?
Kinda,
what-
yeah.
what
I mean,
they're
they
doing?
can, teach me. Like, I learned a lot of my climbing techniques from people that I have no idea who or when they died.
Maybe they died from climbing and they're trying to make sure it doesn't happen to you.
Well, that's a pretty good fucking lesson, if I have to be honest. I mean, hey, if you fucking do not have the right climbing gear, you're gonna fucking die. Like, if you wear shite shoes, you're gonna fall and die.
Don't let go.
Yeah. Chalk your fucking hands. Like, is that what we're talking about there?
No, it's like, in the athletics competition, I was climbing some old brick tower.
Right.
And just out of nowhere, I heard 3 fingers on that rock, and then your smaller fingers below.
No shit.
And as soon as I put my hand there, it was a perfect fit. It fit perfectly. It helped me. It's just little things like that. It's bizarre.
That sounds pretty fucking amazing. I got
Like
to be
this,
honest
you
with
guys. Fuck.
Oh shit! Yeah, okay. Hey, I mean, oh fuck, I am that climber. I got to be honest with you.
Christina gets it right the first time from the somatic components of spellcasting. It's not that
like
far off.
that. But
Yeah.
it's
All
like
right.
sometimes it's like. Well, I think you are right. I think there might be some necromancy in it, because the spell that I can cast it's dead. It's almost like the essence of death. And it like torments almost. But that skill was like something I almost discovered like over time as I was growing up as a little kid. And then there was just a moment in time where I was kind of, I guess, getting bullied by this big dwarf. And he pushed me to the ground, and I fell over, and I got back up, and I went to push him, and my vision kind of went dark, and like I came back in, and he was on the ground writhing in pain and shaking his head like something had just attacked his mind. I don't know. It was just it's almost like instinctual rather than something I actively do.
No. I get it. Listen, okay. Let's tell one more story before heading to bed. I got one more for you. It's gonna be how I learned how to use my magic. All right.
Okay.
So, I'll tell you. I was about So I wasn't a bard my entire life, right? So the reality is that I was a shite kid for a long time, and as opposed to Pixie here, I was the bully. I'll admit it. I wasn't happy about it. I am not proud of it. But I used to make fun of people, and I used to talk a lot of shite, and I used to be all right, fucking prick. I used to push people around. I was a bit bigger than my peers. I hit puberty early, and then he like holds up his muscles. He holds up like his arms and stuff, and he's like, they're kind of limpy. He's not a very strong. He's like, as you can see, I grew out of that. I'll tell you that right now. But no, the reality was, I was a real fucking piece of shit. So I got fucked up real bad the one day. It got ahead of me. I was about 20 years old. I was sitting in a port. It was down in Athkatla, right? And I was sitting in Athkatla, right on the just some coastal fucking dive bar, and I got the shit kicked right out of me. About 6, 7 guys. I thought that was tough. I thought the people that were my drinking buddies were gonna give me the fucking the backup that I needed. And anyway, I got dragged into the street and I got the shit kicked out of me. So I'm laying there in the muck and my own blood in an alleyway in fucking Hathgala. And I had nothing left to my name. I didn't have my weapons. My clothes were torn. They took me gold. They broke me loot. Smashed me jaw. And all I thought in my head was, well, fuck, I cannot get any lower. So I'm going to sing myself a song. Broken jaw and all.
Ow.
Yeah, well, fuck. I mean, I was pissed drunk, Pixie.
Throat singing.
No, I am not that talented. It was just a body song from my childhood. And I started singing. My jaw was hurting. And then my jaw stopped hurting. Like it was broken. Broken!
Thank you, Fablemancer's. Enjoy your stream.
And I felt it click back. And I was healed.
You can heal people?
Literally through song. Yes, I can. I did not make a habit of it. I got to be honest. I usually use the little bits of magic and tricks and this and that and the other thing to do more utilitarian things. I mean,
like turn invisible.
Like turn invisible. Yeah, I'm a hell of a lot better at thievery than I am at bardry. You know what I mean? Like I'm not. I use my magics for that, but I can also sling a fucking lightning bolt. So keep that in your bonnet. But
good to know.
You seem to have experienced life a lot. How old are you?
What's that? Oh, I'm 31.
31.
Yeah, I've lived a little bit of life.
Apparently.
Well, yeah, no, like it's. I grew up fast. I've been on my own since I was 13, Pixie. And the rest of you, like I've been, like I was up on the streets, and that's been me since since I hit puberty.
Well, I hope you can find a home with us.
Yeah, that'd be fucking great. I gotta be honest. Fuck, at least just a bed where I can fucking stay. But no. Anyway, that's when I first got my magic.
It always seems to hit in like really bad moments.
Really?
Seems to be that way. Yeah, it's always in your most dire moment. At least when you're, caster that has it like infused in them. Like a wizard will learn it, and it's like, oh, I fucking read enough textbooks, and I can wiggle me fingers and shoot a fireball up someone's arse and make a real fucking fool of myself. But you know, it's moments of panic and stress and duress that you find yourself summoning up those inner wells of power. Like Ygoen, have you never found
No,
yourself?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's
Well,
like
yeah.
fight or flight.
Something like that.
My magics is like my mother's side of the family all has magic innately. I was creating bubbles before I could walk. I mean, it leads to awkward situations when the baby sets fire to their own crib, but I mean,
No shit.
it's, you know, it's always been something that I could do.
Really?
I mean, it's also a good thing that, you know, when your baby can kind of instinctively protect themselves from injury before they crawl into dangerous spots too, I guess. But my mom's got stories of me being, well, a rambunctious child. So, but yeah, no, my
kind of
innate
a
magic,
rambunctious
and then it
adult.
just kind of grew from there. And yeah, when I was a teenager training with the town guard, it was just kind of grew in me as able to just kind of unlock something when I need to, which is why I don't do it unless I need to.
Huh.
I
Go
turn
mental?
it in- yeah, I kind of become like a force of nature and not really, I don't have as much control over it as you guys do, but the little stuff that I've always been able to do, I got control of that, you know, like they'll hold out their hand and little tiny bubbles will just kind of appear and start floating in the air. But
Shit.
the greater stuff, the magic channels through me for destruction.
All right. Well, I guess that's just testament to the fact that everybody's journey is a little bit different.
Just before we forget,
Yeah.
forgot Brendan's Arcana roll.
Oh goodness, right? Yeah, I did almost forget that.
Mhm.
So, as everybody's kind of waxing on with their stories, Christina's like been pretty quiet most of the time for since Pixie started bringing up her powers, and it's Christina's pretty familiar, actually. Certain folk are predisposed to a life of like skullduggery and being a low life and such, and all this as like a like a roguish sort.
Mhm.
And that comes from like a rough upbringing or a predisposition to crime, or like this wanton freedom that they crave, this chaotic energy that they need to be these anti-establishment revolutionary sorts. Like roguishness comes from all walks of life, but usually it's not from sort of like magical or supernatural origins. But you distinctly remember that there are certain individuals that are, and you're certain that this is what the passage said within the books that you've read, that there are certain individuals that are born of death, and that within their lifetime, when it first began, they were born to great tragedy, great amounts of death and destruction. Usually, those that are found on battlefields, to get a little bit gory and nasty, like babies that are born upon battlefields to like dead mothers, or like children that are born to women who pass during childbirth. Those that are brought into this world through like unions of like unholy energy, like the like impregnation from like dark magics and that kind of stuff. They might come out and have certain affectations. And that sort of lines up with Pixie's story that their mother and their father are dead and they've been that way. That they were picked up by Stavros and Emery, and that these powers didn't start materializing until later, and that they speak to the dead and they have certain abilities and they're a little bit mysterious, but they are very clearly, if not evil, dark in origin. So,
yeah, I've read a little bit about what you're describing, Pixie. And I don't think you're the first one to come out with things like that. Almost,
I mean, if I was, I would be a legend.
Almost universally, from what I've read, that kind of thing comes from death being adjacent to your birth. Whether it's ripped from the womb on the battlefield, your mother passing in childbirth, whatever the case may be. It's almost universally accompanied by a darker start to life. And for what it's worth, it's not necessarily evil.
I don't feel evil.
Yeah. There are some who would look at you and they might say that you are, but
I mean, I can see why people would think that. I have powers from beyond the grave.
Something like that.
But I don't know. Dad and father never really wanted to talk about how they came across me, except for the fact that, you know, my parents are gone. And again, she's tucked her little figure back in her pocket, and then she like pats her pocket gently. And then again, the woman that speaks to me, if I had to guess, would be my late mother. She's never told me her name or even really talked in any sort of way that would indicate her being my mother. I could be wrong, but there's some sort of attachment to my figure, and it gives me like strength, I guess. You know, I can squeeze it sometimes, and I can get that little extra push in a fight that makes me feel more resilient and confident, and I feel like that might have come from her. And obviously, like, it's hard to feel any sort of emotion, but
regardless of whatever the truth is there, Pixie, I've done a lot of reading, but I can't answer that question for you. But that doesn't make that feeling any less real.
That's true. Man, the only people who know about this stuff are Dad, Father, and Relica. This is the first time I've ever like really talked about it.
Most Relicas know about it?
Well, I assume both Relicas know about it because fake Relica has Relica's memories.
oh, that's fucked up.
What do you mean?
Listen, I know you probably got some bad blood with the girl. Like, I understand. Like, I get it. I've held grudges for far less, to be completely honest, but I can only imagine how hard that fucking girl creature, that doppelganger, has it. Like, that's born from, you know, a starless, dark cosmos into a world where she's been indoctrinated to thinking that she has this soul and that she's got only all y'all as family and friends, and that there's there's no real attachment, and that's all she's got, and then it gets ripped away because one day, I don't know. It just seems harsh to me. That seems fucking crazy.
I don't know if I told you this, Gavin, but I might as well. I'm a changeling.
Oh, all right. And what does that mean for us?
Well, I've been one the entire time, and I've never once taken someone's identity out from under them.
Oh shit.
So,
Christina is Christina. She just has the ability to shape shift, I guess. Christina
Yeah.
is not another person. It's her.
It's just sort of like a.
And I don't know exactly how I came about. I was
Right.
adopted by Bensel.
Right. So
and-
you're not. I mean, like, it should be pretty fucking obvious, but I guess, but like, you're not her kin, eh?
Not by blood, no.
Not by blood.
Not to the best of my knowledge, anyways.
Yeah.
And to speak on being something that is deception by its very nature, I, more than most, understand what you speak of when you talk about the loneliness of a doppelganger's life.
Right. Like that is what I'm talking about. Like,
Because the second anyone finds out what you are, you're never trusted again.
Yeah, like that's it. Like that's all she wrote. Like I've been
And-
caught in a lie just as a regular bloke. Like it's, and
Now
and then
make
been
that
thrown out.
Make that who the entirety of what you are is.
Right, and then
Get
on
caught.
top of that, getting caught is like a death sentence. Like doppelgangers are as well. Fuck, until very, very fucking recently, I'd have to admit that yes, that's pretty well on site with anyone that's a doppelganger because they cannot be trusted and this and that and the other thing. But like, oh, it's such a gut punch to learn that like one of your good friends is
completely and utterly not who you thought they were.
well, just like it's there. Are they them? It's fucked. Oh, it's fucked
Have
up.
they ever been them?
And what does it mean to be them? Can there be two the same person? I mean, like
fake Relica talks, acts, looks, behaves like Relica, and I think they feel like Relica.
Right.
And between you three and I and the expansive wilderness here, I am Christina, but Christina's not all of who I am.
I figured.
There's still a little part.
You talk in my head, it's not the same voice.
Yeah. There's still a part that
I'm
I
trying
don't
to
think I'm
trust
ready
Relica.
to share with the world yet.
Right.
I'm trying to trust Relica. I left her in charge of the house while we're gone. Because I don't... She wasn't lying. She never tried to hurt us. She always did what was best for the house, despite...
She had ample opportunity to hurt us and didn't.
She's going to need help to find herself, though. Just like
I
Christina
talked to her
has
about that, and I
herself.
told her that she should
I
find...
was very lucky to have been raised by a Harper.
And I told her she needs to find who she is, or they are, or it is. I don't really know the correct way to say it. I told her that they need to find who they are outside of just being my sister. And if there's still...
Isn't that a predicament most siblings find themselves in?
What do you mean?
Well, most of my friends growing up had siblings, and there always seemed to be some unspoken rivalry or resentment from living in the shadow of each other.
I don't resent Relica at all. I don't...
No, but You're talking about something that on one level is like this huge thing about RR needing to find their true selves. And on the other
Establishing
level,
one's own identity for
but
people
but
who
on
aren't like RR and
on the other
I
level,
is hard enough as it is.
it's also just normal sibling stuff. You both have to grow into your own people, become your own individuals.
Well,
It's
that's
not
quite what I
anything
mean. I
really.
mean, the
No,
doppelganger.
it's nothing. We don't. It doesn't need to be an extra level.
But that's
I
not.
think we need to stop treating RR like they're a problem.
Well, I agree for right now, anyways.
Well,
She
I
can't
think that
keep
the
being
only
my
thing
sister.
that's going to I think the only thing that's
She
going
is
to
your
make
sister.
her feel
She's
Pixie.
she's not my
coming from-
sister.
Pixie, coming from my perspective, and I think you'll trust me when I say, finding a way to connect with someone like me means you have to trust them. And
And
that
I'm
is the
trying to-
hardest. Well, here's the thing. No. That is the hardest thing you can possibly do for someone like me.
I'm trying to trust her. But we still need to get Relica back. And when we do, if we do, they can't keep being Relica.
Why
They
not?
have to find who they want to be instead of being somebody else.
But
That's what I
they
told
are
her.
somebody else. When we get Relica back, RR and Relica will be two different people that just happen to share a lot in common.
Share a lot in common. It's not things
And
in
they're
common. She
both
literally
your
had
sister.
Relica's memories.
Yeah. Up
Well-
until a certain point.
well, Pixie, what's the other option? Like she could, like she has all of Relica's memories, so like if she's gonna take, like you know how a doppelganger gets their memories, right? Like it's through a pretty exacting process. Like it's not something taken on lightly, and it's like what are they supposed to take somebody else's? Well, like no. So they're gonna become their own person, and they are. But for right now, like
I would like
their starting point. Most people get the chance to grow up as a child, and they get the chance to be a little ragamuffin, and they get to be, an awkward teenager, and they get to grow into their own. But this poor soul's starting point is the usurping of another identity. They started as Relica. That's where they start. They don't get to have a childhood. They don't get to have those formative memories. They start as your sister.
But they could.
They can't just
Doppelgang a
change
baby.
themselves.
What are they have all, that's not how that works. They're fully formed. They have
They'll
all
become
these
their own
memories.
person, but they're not.
How
They can't just change themselves completely any more than you can. We can't just say
It's
you have
only
to
a
stop
physical
being Pixie.
transformation, Pixie.
Yeah, to be honest, if
when
you,
Relica comes back, we're just gonna have two Relicas walking around? That's not gonna seem suspicious.
No.
so what if it fucking is?
Mm-hmm.
To be completely honest, if your sister's sitting there, that'd be one hell of a fucking way to reveal to the entire city that there's a fucking doppelganger problem, and that perhaps, just fucking perhaps, that they're not all fucking evil, and we can actually stop this. That your sister is one of them, because she is your fucking sister. You just happen to have two. Think of the silver lining. Now you got two pains in the fucking arse. I don't know. I'm not you, and I'm not.
Counting Briggs.
Yeah, yeah, that's super, super true. To be honest, Ygoen, I've heard that you're a bit of a fucking pain too, but for different reasons. But listen, I'm not you, and I'm not your sister, and I'm not your dad, and I'm not your father. But I do know a thing or two about what it means to be a person, and what it means to be free, and what it means to be fucking held under thumb by unfair powers. And that seems to be the situation that your sister, or the doppelganger replica, whatever you call her, that seems to be what the situation she is in. And to be honest, it does chafe me a little bit to hear that she's done all of these things to earn your trust, and then, well, you're just going to make her change, turn into something else, because you do not like it.
Part of the reason I do what I do is so that I don't have to wear someone else. But for those of us who already do, that's their lot.
So this got a little bit more serious than I thought it was going to get.
Yeah, it's bad time.
I know. It just, well, we always bring back.
Fine, I guess I'll have
the
twin sisters. Long lost sister.
Well, I'm not forcing you, and we are not insisting that you become super comfortable with it right out of the gate. But because, to be completely fucking honest, as much as I'm saying, Gavin O'Toole is saying that, hey, you should let freedom reign and let your sister just live her life and accept her for who she is, I will say, from the deepest fucking pit of me psyche, it's fucking weird. Like, it's fucking weird. It's super weird. It's fucked up. It's strange. There's a strange alien creature that took on the persona of your sister, and now you got to accept her for who she is because she's going to be her own person, but she's also like, it's fucked up. But it's not the most fucking terrible thing that can happen, and she's still a person.
And it's not her fault.
Oh, that's a good point too. It's not her fucking fault. She did not choose it. So, I feel like it's nap time.
Mm-hmm.
Plays out his bedroll.
Christina's on first watch.
Sure. We'll just ask for a blanket perception test from everyone.
I want to do one quick thing while everyone's kind of going to sleep, Aaron.
Sure.
I want to try and cast Sending as a result of this conversation.
Sure.
But I want to use the cantrip and code thoughts. Instead of sending a 25-word message, can I send a single memory?
No.
Okay.
As really fucking cool as that would be, I gotta admit that does kind of undermine the spirit of the spell.
Okay.
It is.
Here's the idea. I was gonna send a single snippet of Christina's childhood, growing up with Bensel accepting her for who she is, but also teaching her about being careful with that sort of thing to the doppelganger relica.
That is very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It is. But
Would you let me do it if I spent a sorcery point?
nope.
Can you describe it in 25 words or less?
Yeah. My mom was cool. I was a changeling. Things were crazy for a while.
Yeah.
It is snowing on Mount Fuji. Like, it's that. Like, that's.
Yeah.
So.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
You said perception roll, Aaron?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm putting my bedroll underneath the wagon, so if it does rain in the middle of the night, I'm not getting rained on.
That's a
directly.
nat 20, baby.
21 for me.
All right. Everybody rolled really well.
Yeah.
So it does actually rain ever so slightly, and Gavin hops underneath the wagon at a certain point with Ygoen. Christina, do you hop in the tent with Pixie? The wagon is also covered. Like, it is covered with like an oiled canvas.
I'll hop in the wagon then.
Okay. It starts to rain throughout the night.
Can I just real quick?
Mhm.
I will yell out to Gavin. There's space in the tent if you want it, Gav.
He like sits up. He sits up. All right. And then he gets up and he hops in the tent, and he rolls over away from you, and goes to sleep. He's like, "Good night, Pixie. Thank you.
Night.
Appreciate it."
Pixie's gonna do the same thing.
And as you all fall into like a sort of fitful sleep, maybe Ygoen not so much, but the rest of you being a little bit away from home, away from the soft beds and the luxuries and the comforts of Argentum Manor and the City of Splendors, you fall into a fitful rest. The events of the days prior and the couple weeks that have gone by have all sort of piled up and culminated into a growing feeling of unease, anxiety, and a worry about what's next. Like, when is the other foot gonna fall? Like, everything just seems to be piling up and piling up and piling up, but you're handling it. When's the other foot gonna fall? Pixie, while you're sleeping, you jolt awake. You feel as if there was a light brush upon your shoulder. You awake and you hear from beside you, no, Christina, I'm sorry I said I fucked your mother. Oh, fuck, I'm sorry. No, I shouldn't have said it. I know, it's fucked up. No, I know, but she smelled so good. You catch a lot of that. But you see from outside of the tent a dim glow. Not coming from firelight. Some sort of gently bobbing light source.
Just outside of the tent?
Just outside the tent.
Well, get out of the tent. Follow it, I guess.
So you hop out of the tent. And you see a ball of light. Yellow, warm, gentle, a bit brighter than a lantern. About 40, 50 paces away from camp. It just bobs there. You hear like a gentle tinkling coming from that direction, like chimes or bells that are being swayed in the wind.
I'm gonna like reach out and try to touch it.
It's far away.
Yeah, well, like I'm gonna go to it.
You start walking towards it, and it starts gently moving away.
I'm going to quicken my pace.
You start moving at a sort of brisk step in order to try to keep up with this small ball of light. And suddenly it shoots off onto the horizon to the northeast towards the Sword Mountains.
And it disappears?
Keeps rising and rising and rising and rising. And you see it, and it seems as if like your perception of distance and space is a bit distorted. And there's a bright flash of light, and a gigantic statue is illuminated atop what seems to be a mountain pass. And it's strange because it's almost like you have like the distortion and abstract vision of a dream. How can you see so far when you're at the foot of the mountain range and you're looking almost upon this mountain pass? It's crumbling, but there's a gigantic statuary there. This gigantic statue looks down at you. And the little ball of light is bouncing up on its shoulder. Statue is of a dwarven man, a big braided beard with a brass beard cap at the very bottom of it, a girdled belt with a gigantic symbol of some forgotten dwarven household right in the middle of it, wearing stony plate mail. Looks
Who
down
are
at
you?
You don't remember.
What is that?
And this voice comes out, the booming of thunder and rocks and gravel like a landslide coming down the mountain. It echoes. You don't remember.
What is the light?
It is but a guide.
Guide to what?
A guide to what you need and what you seek.
And what do I seek?
You seek answers from the past. From the time before time. You know now already that those from time immemorial speak to thee. Ask them when you awake, what is my name? Come to the mountain, young Argentum.
What don't I remember? Why do I need to ask them my name? I know my name.
My name, not yours.
What do I not remember? Who you are?
Come to the mountain, Pixie.
Right now?
Everything will be laid bare.
Like right now? Because we're kind of in the middle of something.
It's time to wake up. And then that bright ball of light flashes on the shoulder again, and it grows blindingly bright, white, and powerful. And then you wake up in your tent.
I'm going to like jolt out of my bed and run out the tent and take get 30 feet away from the camp.
It is, you awaken, it is still the dead of night. The smolders of the fire still burning within the pit that you made, and everyone in camp sleeping, besides Christina, who's still awake. First watch hasn't even ended.
Everything okay, Pixie?
She just kind of puts a finger out and she pulls out her wooden figure, takes like 30 steps out of camp, and just holds it in her palm and kind of waits to see if it talks to her.
Silent.
She's gonna like whisper quietly at it. Who is the dwarf statue?
Silence.
Please talk to me. I need you right now.
In Pixie's heart, it's not a voice from outside, it's a voice from inside. The sort of that like echo from like the Inland Empire. Like your mind speaking to itself, a very resonant dialogue that comes from within. And in your heart of hearts, you know that that's not how this works. You don't get to ask. It just comes. But you do get a shiver crawling out of your warm bed. The rain having stopped at this point. The wet ground underneath your feet. You do feel grounded. Do you feel very at peace?
I'll put my figure back in my pocket and walk over to the fire really quick and start like warming my feet and my hands. And I'll walk slowly back to the tent.
All right.
And lay down. See if I can sleep.
As you're sitting at the fire, Christina waves a hand, and in the gentle rain, your clothes just kind of steam for a minute, and then they're mostly dry, and you feel warmed up.
Thanks, Christina. I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So the night goes on. Ygoen, you awake for your watch. And as you do, you've been awake for about an hour, and something just prickles the back of your neck. Just that preternatural. You didn't hear it. You didn't see it, but just a smell. Something not off, something present.
I'll take a deep sniff for any magical auras.
Sure. Take a deep whiff, and immediately behind you, you catch a faint aura of transmutation magic.
How far away?
Maybe 15 steps or so.
15 steps. Okay.
I'll be right back, guys.
This is either going to be really cool or very embarrassing, but with my boots of jump, I am going to just try to leap in that direction and throw a punch at whatever it is.
I'm gonna ask for an. Usually that might be an athletics check. I think I'm gonna ask for acrobatics, considering the sort of theatrical, surprising, springing leap behind you to do it.
Does jump give any bonus? Would that jump give any bonuses to this roll, or
You'll roll with advantage.
okay?
Woo! Let's go! Nat 20. So, Ygoen does just a... Ygoen bends their knees. Just ever so slightly. And exerts that magical oomph in order to activate the magical boots. And you leap backwards in the air. A very, very slick, graceful backflip, and you land behind the figure. The figure stands. Their cloak, black and brown, the colors of underbrush and deadfall. The pants, black and brown. A gigantic spear on their back, and they're crouched in a position to sort of take surprise. And then you launch a god awful strike at their back. Roll 11. The figure spins and stands up to their full height, avoiding the blow and saying, "Jesus, kid, what's holy?" And you see standing there your father. Holy!
Oh,
By the gods, dead and alive! I know you were jumpy, but come on!
Kosovapaha. What
Why?
are you doing sneaking up like that?
What do you mean? I thought I'd come and visit. It'd be a little out of place. Well, I thought I could get the jump on you.
Well, you did not. But just casually thought you'd come and visit?
I knew I'd meet you on the road.
Is it the figure or any items that I'm smelling the transmutation magic on?
Transmutation's coming from a pair of boots.
Okay.
Yeah. Egan, it's me. No, I understand. You're going through it. Your ma sent that letter.
Yeah.
I thought I'd meet you on the way here. There's no way you didn't know. I had to be... Listen, there's a point to this. Can we sit down?
Yeah, you can sit by the fire.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sure you'll forgive my skepticism, but we've had fairly frequent run-ins with people who do not appear the way they should, so...
Yeah, all right. Well, it's me. It's your dad. You see
You seem to be, and I'm happy to see you.
You see the gruff individual that is your father, standing before you, stubble on the jaw. You notice that you got all of your height from your dad. He's not exactly the tallest individual out there. Listen, it's
Runts of the orc tribe.
yeah, exactly. Like, just not. He very much doesn't suit the prototypical like gigantic. It's okay. All right. Yeah, let's have a seat.
Yeah.
So, all right. Your mom sent you that letter, right?
Yeah, we assumed that you needed help.
We do.
All right.
So your mom didn't want me coming out here.
Oh, okay.
She didn't want you coming, and I said, "Listen, Egan's already on the road. Like, you can't. What do you mean?" She knew what she was doing, but
Yeah.
the reality is, things are messed up in Thornhold, kiddo. It's been like that for a minute. So, you know how there's the silver mines that are outside of town, and that's sort of, that's how we know Stavros, and that's how we know him, right?
Yeah.
The family owns it. Well, first of all, the mines run empty. So
maybe we won't tell Pixie that right away, because...
Well, that's not even so much the problem.
Oh, okay.
Like, we've still got stockpiles. Like, it's a lot of it's unrefined. We're doing okay. We can probably go and excavate and run some exploratory. We can survey for more silver. It's all over the claim, but I don't know. I don't know really how to say it. Kiddo, there's a dragon in the mine.
Like a Vavern, or
No. No. Like a real God's damn dragon.
well, shit.
Yeah.
Where did it come from?
That's the thing. We invited him in.
Oh, okay.
We were in dire straits, kiddo. We didn't want to worry you, but as soon as you left, things started going to shit.
How do you even write a letter to a dragon to invite him?
We didn't write a letter.
Oh.
We knew that they lived up on the mountain. We went up and... So, the town elders, they were getting into some skeevy stuff. Dark gods. Cutting deals. Leader of the village started having visions. And
Was it of a talking hand? Because I got a friend that's had visions like that too.
yeah, Ygoen, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. It was a hand with a mouth, and well, your ma, she knows what that is. Something from...
Yeah, Ma probably does.
Yeah. And anyway, she said it was ill omen, and we fought back and forth with the elders of the town, and well, the leader, anyway, kids started going missing, Ygoen.
All right.
And we couldn't handle it. Half the town guard was convinced they were a part of this doom cult. Now everybody's worshiping this damn dragon.
All right. So we go kill the dragon.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
I wish it were more complicated than that. And I had more to say, but
Trying to think of a way to phrase it so it doesn't sound as stupid as it does.
nah, it's pretty stupid.
What if I say it's a wyvern? Maybe we just have to kill the wyvern in the mines. That doesn't sound as stupid, does it?
Well, I've never seen it.
Oh, then we don't even need to mention it. We just have to deal with the cult in the mines.
Well, the cult's not even in the mines, Ygoen. They're in
Oh.
town. They're in town. So here's the thing. We called down this great dragon
We'll find that out.
to clear out this cult. It was supposed to be the deal. We're going to trade you the silver. You're going to clear the cult out. Here's the names. And now, your mother is being held in suspicion of sedition against the elders. The dragon is nowhere to be seen. Holed up in the silver mine by all accounts. And so, I feel like we got a dragon in the mines. We've got evil cultists. I've got names, Ygoen. I've got names.
All right.
But we couldn't do it alone, and we heard about Pixie, and we heard about.
Can you write them down? Because my friends are very much the sneak in the middle of the night and take care of problems kind of people.
Yeah, I can write them down. I didn't want to get you caught up in this, Ygoen, but it's family.
It's kind of an important deal, though, Dad. Like,
Well, I thought we could handle it. I did. So,
butting off more than we can chew is kind of a family trait on this side, so.
all right.
What, are you going to get back to town? Are you trying to avoid suspicion or incriminating yourself, or?
Well, as far as they know, I'm locked up with your mother.
Okay.
So, I got to get
That's-
back at some point.
That's where we'll find you when we get back to town?
Well, yeah, here, I'll give you a rundown. All right, so we're in the hold. Like we're in the Thornhold itself. They locked us up in there. But within the fort, well, we've got a couple of holes dug, and I snuck out. So I'm, by all accounts, a pile of hay at the moment. And well, your mother's doing all right. Like, they can't lay a finger on her because she's just gonna break it off. And yeah, we're sitting pretty for the moment, but it's tough. We've got people within town that want to help, but these elders, I'm worried that they're going to do something before it's too late, and I don't really understand this Moander stuff.
Yeah, me neither. But that's already on our to-do list, I guess. People researching it already, so I guess this is a common resurgence of this cult. So,
Well, I guess that's comforting.
it'll be good practice and intel for us to deal with the cult here, because I'm sure the cult in Waterdeep is probably a little bit more entrenched and
Right.
harder to pick out.
So we get to town. I bust your mom out. We make a plan. We axe these fools. That sound good?
That's probably the type of plan, but our involvement will be up to Pixie to decide. So you get back to town. You and Mom do what you guys got to do,
Right.
and we will be there by tomorrow night, and we'll start dealing with stuff.
All right. Well, the big reason why I wanted to come in, well, I wanted to tell you what was the skinny, but you got to be careful coming into town. Guards people are going to be wary. if you're just visiting, your mom's locked up, they're going to try to do the same to you. All right? So meet us at the Drunken Siren. We'll be there. Safe people. Right around midday. Can you do that?
I will pass that on to Pixie.
All right. Well, I'm going to leave you, kid.
All right, Dad.
See you soon. Then he flips his hood up and off he goes.
I'll wait until breakfast to pass the message on to everyone because no use waking people up in the middle of the night. They're going to need their sleep tonight.
Yep. So by the morning time, it's Gavin that's up the earliest because he's doing his watch. He slept all night, then does the last watch before daybreak. And he's up and making breakfast before anybody's awake, and everybody wakes up to the smell of cooking porridge and dried fruits. All right, you fucking sods. Wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Bracky's ready.
I didn't know you cooked.
I don't, but I can make fucking porridge.
Okay.
This is the first time I think Ygoen for sure, and maybe even Pixie, have seen Christina first thing in the morning when she rolls out of bed. Absolute fucking nightmare. Hair everywhere, drool on one side of the face. She kind of steps out of the wagon and then just, and like prestidigitation, cleans her face off. The hair kind of flies magically back and like brushes itself
Like
out.
Anna at the start of Frozen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then she just, okay, all right, much better, and walks over.
I'll dry myself and my bedroll. Flavor up the porridge with prestidigitation as well.
Ooh, yeah, good call.
He admitted he can't eat. I mean, he can't cook. So
Yeah, it is over moist porridge with like hard dried fruit thrown in. It is not great.
now
Pixie's gonna like walk up, look at the porridge, walk to the wagon, and pull out a fishing rod and a box of tackle, and she's gonna be like, I'm gonna go catch a fish.
You know, there's not fish in hot springs, right?
Was it a hot spring? I
yeah,
think you just said springs.
it was a hot spring.
Well, it's a hot spring, Ygoen, but we do happen to have the fucking Sea of Swords, like, 6 minutes west.
Oh, okay. I
But
suppose.
but I mean, I mean, you can go throw a line into the hot spring as well. Are we gonna have a bath and then get the fuck out of here?
Yeah.
I would like to eat something better.
All right. Well, you go nosh, and I'm gonna go and bathe.
Well, we don't have a lot of time, so try to do it quickly.
Well,
Something
if I
going
don't
on
catch
again?
one in 10-15 minutes, then I'll call it a day.
So the hot springs are invigorating and feel great. You walk up and there's a collection of natural pools sitting in the sitting set into the ground right at the in a glen. You guys wash yourselves off. The sort of sulfurous fumes sort of waking you up further. The hot water and the steam sort of cleansing you. And as you all, Pixie, give me a survival. 12. You catch a fish. You absolutely catch a fish. It's nothing huge. You catch like a little bluefin, enough to like fill your belly.
Pixie's gonna walk back with the fish by the gills, throw it on the pan for like a minute aside, and then just start gnawing down.
Absolutely. And then you guys pack up.
Thornhold is being held hostage by Cult of Moander.
Oh, for fuck's
Oh,
sake.
oh.
How do you know this?
My father caught up with me last night.
How did your father know we were out here?
Well, he didn't know we were here specifically, but he assumed we were somewhere on the road between Waterdeep and Thornhold. So it wouldn't have been too hard to find us since we're sitting at the crossroads just off the main road.
Fair point. All right. Well, let's take care of the
He
cultists,
would like
I guess.
us to meet him at the Drunken Sailor at about midday today. This is a list of names of the townspeople that are,
Involved in the cult? No,
children
that's-
have gone missing. My dad's breaking my mom out of prison this morning before they meet us at the tavern.
What are the names?
There is Trant Verdon.
You're making a list, Brandon?
Yeah.
There is Golben Hughes.
Okay.
Reginald Venk.
Okay.
And Crassian Featherwind. Ygoen, you recognize all but one of these names as former elders of Thornhold. The only name that you don't is Crassian Featherwind. And it sticks out like a sore thumb. The vast majority of the inhabitants of Thornhold are orcs, half-orcs, humans, dwarves, gnomes. Crassian Featherwind is distinctly elven.
Do I not recognize him as an elder, or do I just not recognize the name at all?
You don't recognize the name at all,
I have no idea who he is.
but you recognize the others as former, or well, current elders of
Yeah.
Thornhold.
Soon to be former.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Soon to be late. Elder.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't know who the elf is. He would not be local. He might be who brought the cult to the area.
Can I make a history check, Aaron? See if that elven name means anything, if it's tied to anyone in Waterdeep.
Please do.
I was also going to do that.
Throw bones, guys.
God fucking damn it.
God, fuck.
Educated people.
Uh-huh. Christina Flax recognizes that name almost immediately. Crassian Featherwind is one of the guild masters for the smithing guild within Waterdeep.
Crassian. What was the last name again, Egan?
Feather something. My dad's got
Feather?
shitty handwriting, so
Featherwind.
Featherwind.
Featherwind. Oh, he's in the smithing guild in Waterdeep. He's a guild master.
Well,
Is
I
he
guess we should-
or at least he was, presumably before he was replaced with a doppelganger, because they've been infiltrating the guilds.
I guess we better
The
have a word with this
doppelgangers
other
are
one.
tied in with this Moander fella, right?
Uh-huh. They sure are.
All right. Well,
The cult has figured out that House Argentum is onto them, and they're trying to bleed us dry. I don't think the silver mines run out. I think they've put something real big and scary in there to keep the people of this village out. And either strong-armed or magically coerced.
Why do you think that the silver mine ran out?
Ah.
Oh, that's right. I don't know that. You're right.
You do not know that.
Yeah. Either way. Yeah. Why would the doppelgangers come out here? Are they trying to?
Well, if they know we're onto them, they might be trying to fuck with the mine.
It's very much a possibility.
or they're specifically trying to lure us out here where they can deal with us easier than in the city of Waterdeep.
They're in for a surprise, I'll tell you that much.
Yep.
Yeah, that kind of unties our hands just as much as it unties theirs.
Definitely do. It definitely do.
I know.
Your mom and dad are like a big deal out here, right?
Well, they're retired adventurers. I mean,
Folks, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I mean, there's not a single situation where I know I'm going into an ambush and I'm fucking excited about it.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that y'all think that you're pretty hot shit. And to be honest, I've got a pretty similar opinion about myself. But let's not just treat lightly the fact that this is, in all likelihood now, an ambush and an attempt on our lives directly, because we're away from all of our folks, fellows, and companions. Like, we do not have Torek, we do not have Briggs. Relica's back hanging with the other posse. If you think that they are not coming loaded to bear in order to specifically kill Pixie Argentum, Christina Flax, Ygoen Wildflame, and Gavin O'Toole with all of the tools and necessary particular items and skill sets to do that, I think we're fools.
yeah, I'm pretty sure the city guard, the town guard, will be looking for us.
Well, then
and
we go in quiet.
ready to intercept us. Yes.
No, yeah, absolutely, Pixie. You're 100% right. We don't show ourselves until the last fucking moment. It's a good thing that your dad came out. He's a good man. Otherwise, we would have been walking right into a trap.
Christina's like, well, in that case, and completely changes her appearance, clothing and everything, to the same street urchin that she, the form that she took when she punched the guard at the North Ward.
Yeah.
Can you do that to me?
Pixie, can you not turn invisible?
Oh, you're right. And then Pixie immediately like twists her ring and just disappears.
Yeah. Ygoen, I can turn invisible too for a short time, but that ain't gonna help me. But I do, and he like roots around in his backpack. I do have this, and he pulls out a collection of pots of paint, small brushes, and like a couple of wigs, and a couple of changes of clothes and such. He's like, I do have more mundane forms of disguising ourselves. And to be honest, since you're the local, I think they'd probably find you sooner or later if we do not do this.
I suppose they're probably looking for more than just two people coming into town too.
Yeah, so that's gonna help. Well, it's gonna be three, right? Like, because Christina looks different, but they're still here.
Oh, I thought you said you could be invisible.
Well, yeah, I can, but it's for a very short period of time. I got about 10 minutes. I ain't gonna do no shit. It'll be good.
Is Gavin sitting on anything right now?
Sitting on anything?
Yeah.
A horse?
He's on a horse?
Yeah.
Oh.
No. All right. So let's get the fucking town. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll ride in the wagon. What do we do about my horse?
Well, if you
Hide
just,
behind the
tie it.
wagon.
Having a spare horse is not unusual for travelers.
Aaron, I'm going to cast Mage
Good point.
Armor now. Just get that out of the way.
sure.
Lasts for 8 hours.
I am also going to do my. You know what I'm doing. I think. I think you know what I'm doing.
I think I know what you're doing.
Well, I'm ready when y'all are.
I just gotta wait for Gavin to give me a nice little makeover.
And he does. So you all head down the high road, and eventually you take the a small trail, more than like an animal trail, but like rough road in comparison to the well maintained high road. And you see off in the distance your destination. You see Thornhold and the middling height stone walls that surround it. Upon the hill leading up to the mountain just behind is the eponymous Thornhold, former temple of Tyr, a squat stone two-towered fortress that serves as the central focal point of the town and the surrounding village that's around it. That's mostly a community of hunters, gatherers, lumberjacks, and miners, farmers, etc. And you see a large pillar of smoke coming from behind Thornhold itself, black and ominous. And
Can I
it
do
is-
like a perception or investigation or anything to see if I can tell what that smoke might be coming from?
A fire.
next time you can make whatever rolls that you'd like, but for tonight, that is where we are going to end the stream and where we are going to say adieu, goodbye,
So long, farewell.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Goodbye.
Auf Wiedersehen, to all of the lovely and
Shoshana.
we're going to say goodbye to all the beautiful people that have joined us tonight. We're going to say thank you to Timbo the Wizard. You beautiful, beautiful person. Thank you so much. We see you. We recognize you. We appreciate you. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for following along. Chef Cargs, the beautiful people at Fablemancers, thank you for popping in. We appreciate you. To Liz, to Sylvie, to all of the regulars, to TJ and Bucket, and all of the other new followers to Another World, thank you so much for popping in and saying hello and being here with us as we tell stories, weave threads, and continuously try to keep you all entertained and have a fantastic time doing it. We are going to find a fantastic stream to raid out to. That fantastic stream is going to be Fablemancers tonight. Please stick around, check them out. They are DM'd by the fabulous Chef Cards, Sam Carganelli, the DM for the USS Binary series on Questline, and a storyteller for Stars Without Number, their current system setting that they are playing right at the moment. Stick around, say hello, follow them, give them love. We're going to say hi. I'm going to pop in, be there for a minute. And everybody that's here right now, thank you. Thank you so much. We're going to see you next week for the next chapter of Another World.
Bye, everybody.
See you. Bye, everybody.